See what happens when a military vet discovers the world of podcasting in an all new. Wait. Hey, sound guy. Did I read this right? They're giving military vet his own podcast show? Now, who in the world thought that was? You're still recording, aren't you? Oh, edit that out. See what happens when a military vet discovers the whole new world of podcasting in an all new The Birdman Show. For real, Cletus, edit that out, man. I need this job. Hey, yo, what is up? How you doing, everybody? You know what this is. This is The Birdman Show, and you definitely know who I am. I am the Birdman. Go ahead and do it with me one time. That is right. We are here. We're live. We are on The Birdman Show. And this is a special episode of The Birdman Show because we are doing a panel discussion entitled Real Talk. Okay, I've like I said in my promo videos, I feel like Nick Fury and I have assembled the Avengers. Okay, no, we're not here to save the day, but we are maybe here to save some relationships. So let's get popping. All right, so check it out. I really want to thank everybody for being here. First of all, everybody knows my regular co-host, Ace. Ace, how are you doing today, my man? We're gonna go around the room.
Well, the way that this was perceived that it was going to be like a battle of the sexes. And if that is the case, we are grossly outnumbered, my brother.
Hey, look, I ain't never scared, brother. I ain't never scared, so I ain't worried about it.
But it's not a battle of the sexes, just to go ahead and get that cleared up. It is, this is going to be us giving advice on different perspectives in a relationship and what we as mature adults have gone through and experiences, and just trying to help the younger generation. Hell, not even just the younger generation, just people in general on what to look for in a relationship. So I'm actually excited on this topic because I didn't have to do research. Any topic where we don't have to do research is a win for us. So
yeah, it's always beautiful when we don't have to research anything. Yeah. Okay. So as we're looking on my screen, we're just gonna kind of go around the room on my screen. So on my screen, we got Mama Bear, aka Carrie. How are you doing? Welcome to the Birdman Show. This is your first time on the Birdman Show as well, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
All right. Well, it's good to have you on here. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, first of all, great to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, all right.
I am extremely happy to say that I have been with Mr. Ace here for 2 years and still very much looking forward to the future. I do have to say towards Ace's comment, whether you are outnumbered or not, you're still going down.
Oh,
I just have to say this. It's just real. I was just playing.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know what's going on after the show with y'all. I mean, that's y'all business. We here talking about relationship. Man, this is like there's not an OnlyFans meeting or something like that. So yeah, but appreciate that though. Good looking out.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yeah, Ace got his sexy lingerie underneath that t-shirt. So we're gonna keep on moving along. So we got another newbie to the Birdman Show. That's my baby sis. How you doing, Elaine? I miss you.
Good. Happy to be here.
Yes, it is good to see you. How you doing? Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
So I am also happy I didn't have to do research on this.
because I'm actually in a relationship with Pac-Man. So I apologize in the comments if wars are started, but they will be
Man,
going
Pac-Man, do your
down.
thing, boy. Do your thing. Represent.
Oh no. Don't give him the free reins in the comments.
Oh, you got free range, brother. I'm the host of the show. I say you got free range. Don't worry about it. I got you back, brother. Don't worry, I got you.
I'm also here for the battle of the sexes, so it's fine. I'm here for it.
And that's good. Look, once again, before we move on, like I said, I didn't want to phrase it as battle of the sexes. Like I knew there may be some times where maybe the conversations got a little heated, or not necessarily heated, but definitely more passionate. Passion behind whatever topic we're talking about. I know that's going to happen because that's what happens whenever men and women get together and we actually start having conversations. So that's a given. And then throw me in the mix. I'm always looking to argue with somebody, so I don't really care. So I don't care. I'm here to argue. All right. So yes. So Elaine, it's great seeing you. Now, for those who don't know, Elaine and I, we met when I was up in the military up in New York. Wartown, New York. That is my baby sis. I love her to
many
death.
moons ago.
Yes, many moons ago. So we're not gonna talk about mooning people on the side of the road and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, many moons ago. That never happened. That never actually happened. I don't think so. Anyways, so but that is my baby sis. Love her to death. Pac-Man, you hold it down. If you ever need some backup, brother, I got your back. So let's keep it moving. Now we're gonna move on to another newbie, Desiree Hull. How you doing?
I'm here. I'm ready for this. Elaine, I got your back. He got
Thank
Pac-Man.
you.
I got yours, girl.
Thank you.
I got
Give
yours.
me just a second. I'm going to give respect. And respect is due, mister. You announced who she was. You announced who she is, too.
What?
Oh.
You announced who Elaine was. My little sis, Elaine.
Who is my little sister?
Who is Desiree Hull?
Now,
Besides
first of
my
all,
sister, who is she?
everybody already knows who Des is to me. Okay. Now, yeah, she is new to the show, but everybody already knows. This goes along to where we're going to be talking about a lot in this discussion, where there are some problems, not because everybody always have to introduce this and that, but sometimes you tell too much stuff going on in your business. Anyway, but like I said, everybody already knows Desiree is my baby.
She deserves.
So I'm
she
not even worried about it.
respect too. She deserves respect too.
I get that.
And it begins.
Yes, I know. So here's the thing. And before we get into this, here's the thing. You gotta look at different relationships. Okay. What something that looks like in your relationship is not the same thing as somebody else's relationship. She knows good and well. I give her all due respect everywhere else. All right. I do. I give her the respect where she needs it, when she needs it. Okay. So like I said, but this is what we're here for. This is exactly what we're here for.
Unless it's going to Walmart.
What do you mean? Because I don't go to Walmart?
Feel like going to Walmart. Just
I don't like going to Walmart. I do that out of more or less is the public safety. Because if somebody does something or says something stupid to me in public, or I see something stupid, I'm liable to flip out. I'm trying not to do that. I'm actually trying to stay out of prison. I really kind of like to do that. I want to stay out of prison. There's so many things I want to do in life. Don't want to go to prison right now. Maybe about 20 years when I feel like I'm done and I feel like I've lived my life better. Okay, cool. I'll go to prison. I have nothing else to lose then. Anyways, Desiree, go ahead.
Okay, yes, thank you, Desiree.
Go ahead and finish where you was at.
I was just saying, I'm ready for this. You told Pac-Man you had his back. I got Elaine's back. So I mean, we're good. I'm ready.
Right. Now, returning, this girl is not her first rodeo. Okay? All right? This is not her first time in the ring. All right? She's ready to do battling out of Indiana. Okay? Now, they got some crazy folk up there, so she know how to fight. So I'm not even worried about this one. But returning for the third time, because her crazy self brought us the Mandela effect. So her crazy self is coming back here to do this one. I know I'm right there with you. She coming right back here to do this one. Brittany Price in the house. Britt, what's up?
Hello.
Britt, I just gave you that unbelievable introduction, and she's gonna come in. Hello.
I don't know what to say. I really don't.
What you mean? So the introduction was that good? That what you trying to tell me?
You started out for.
Hopefully that changes because you're going to need to have something to say here shortly.
Yes, I know, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Everyone's been introducing themselves, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to say about myself. Hi, mom of 3. My husband's right here.
Well, luckily for you, though, Britt, I mean, you gave an introduction when we did the Mandela effect. So, you know, in all fairness, if somebody wants to really get to know Britt, just go watch the Mandela effect, watch the part 1, and then watch part 2, because she really messed us up on that one. Now, we do have another panelist. That is my older brother, Anthony Simpson. He is traveling back from Kansas City right now. He's having some issues logging in on his phone. He just messaged me, told me he's about to pull out his laptop, so that way he can at least have the audio. And then when he gets back, he'll be able to have his video, because he should be back by the time, or close to the end. He should be back, but he's on his way back now. So as soon as he gets in, we'll loop him in, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay, so we are here to do a little real talk. Okay, real talk. When, like I said, we want to talk about relationships, and like I said, my idea when I first came up with this was, just all the stuff I've been seeing on TikTok, Facebook, on YouTube, about these relationships and this and that. And I'm like, why not just put together a discussion panel of our own? Why not come on here, talk about some of the same issues, talk about issues that maybe we've had in past relationships, current relationships, things like that, and give our own Birdman perspective of this topic. And the topic is, like I said, relationships. So I want to start with the ladies here. Okay. Let's start with some new blood. All right. Let's start with some new blood here. So we're going to go to you, Mama Bear. I'm going to ask you a question.
Okay.
Define a relationship to you.
Define a relationship to me.
Yes.
Well, first off, it's a true commitment between two people who understand each other and understand what it takes to respect, trust, be faithful, understand the word love, and just understand what it takes to conquer the world together, basically.
You dropping some stuff down there. I mean, you hitting on a lot of stuff that we plan on talking here. And yeah, that's what I completely agree with you. Okay, let's go to let's see. Okay, well, I'm not gonna go to her because she just clicked her for camera. Oh, there she is. Let a brother know you can click your camera off. Good God Almighty. We're gonna go. Actually, you know what? Let's go to Desiree.
Totally the deer in the fucking headlight look. It's like, why the hell
God. Jeez, my freaking niece decided to call me, knowing good and well I'm doing my podcast at this moment in time. She decides she wants a FaceTime video. Oh my God. Anyways, okay. So, as I was saying, Desiree, over to you. Same question.
I don't really know how to top what Carrie just said, honestly. Um, because basically that would be the same thing for me. A relationship to me is somebody that you are willing to be committed to. Something, relationship is something, that you're willing to put everything into. Um, then you have to be, in my opinion, you have to be very trusting for a relationship because there's just, I guess, past trauma. For me, there's too much built up to not have trust in a relationship.
Okay. All right. Um, let's go to a veteran. Um, let's hit Ace right now. Ace, same question to you, buddy.
All right. The thing of it is you're going to pull off of what everybody else says, because whenever somebody gives the ideal definition of a relationship, it's going to be someone that you can build a life with, someone who you can trust, that is not going to break your heart. And the thing of it is it's someone that when they fuck up, they're big enough to stick around and pick up the pieces and help you put it back together, or talk about picking up pieces and putting it back together. Somebody who, whenever you get into a relationship, someone who knows that you've got trauma, feeding off of what Sitter said, someone that knows that you've got trauma and is willing to not fix you because you don't need fixed, but someone who's going to sit there and hold you up while you fix yourself and not try to break you back down in that process. I mean, that's part of what a relationship is you've got two people coming together with past trauma, past relationships, and you have to work together to be able to take both of those broken puzzles and make them one again. So that to me is what what I see a relationship being.
Okay. All right. Elaine, let's go ahead and rip that band-aid off of you.
All right. Okay. Relationship to me is being with someone that you not so much as trust, because the trust is going to grow, because that you have to earn, but someone you're willing to be like, okay, can I swear on this? Can I cuss?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, you were an asshole today, but you know what? I forgive you. I still love you at the end of the day. Someone that you're willing to, not fix. Somebody not. But I did cuss. I said asshole.
Asshole is appropriate.
I still say poop when I drop stuff. Okay, relax.
Yeah, she does.
But it's somebody that you're willing to be in a relationship with that may be broken, and you're not there to try to fix them, but to stick with them while they're fixing themselves. Someone that you can hate, but still want to be around at the end of the day. That's a relationship.
Someone you can hate, but still be around.
Hate is a strong word, but
it is very strong. I was about to say,
you're gonna disagree, but you're still gonna kiss before you go to bed.
Okay, yeah, okay. That's cool.
Go.
That's cool. I mean, I felt like this was Dave Chappelle's Player Haters Balls and hate. Yeah, matter of fact, Pac-Man agreed. He agreed too. Hate.
Oh, I'm sure he does. I'm sure.
Okay. All right. Britt. How you doing?
Yep.
All right. So same question to you, ma'am. What is your definition? How do you define a relationship?
I would say someone that shares the same views or they have their own views, but we're aligned with the same views on commitment, respect, loyalty, the capability of communicating, growing with, and learning with.
Okay. This is definitely a question I wish my brother was on here for. But like I said, we'll work towards getting him on here. For me, I agree with everything everybody says. I 100% agree with everything that everybody has said. That's, like I said, the reason why, like even when we did the production meeting, I said that's why I wanted to get on there. I pretty much thought everybody's going to be kind of on the same page with some things, but we're going to have different perspectives on things. Now, the one thing that I think I agree with the most, what?
Carrie's in the damn chat writing a book.
Oh, Jesus.
Right?
Well, you're on.
Yeah, she is. Somebody read that aloud to us.
You're on the podcast. All I have to do is just say, "Oh, I got something to say," instead of putting that on. I didn't even see that. I was like,
That wasn't me. That was Carrie. Fury Storm Carrie.
"Oh, you're under Mama Bear, anyways." Okay, all right. Well, we'll get to that. We'll stick a pin in that, and then we'll come back. We'll definitely come back to that. I was like, good God.
Book.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll get to that. We'll definitely get to that. We'll have somebody read that because I'm not reading all that. No. Anyways, but I 100% agree with everything everybody said. Like I said, there's one thing that really sticks out to me that one of you has said.
Between a man and a woman.
You said what?
I said that's the difference between a man and a woman. You
What?
ain't reading that. You ain't gonna read that. Whereas a woman already read it.
I mean, that's fine. I mean,
I didn't read it.
I've got points to get to.
It's too long. Somebody read it to me.
You said what?
I read it. That's why I
there you go.
do it.
That's because you got a woman at heart.
Yeah, but number one, for anybody, yeah, I know. For anybody, any and everybody who knows me, especially when it comes to this, or even on TikTok, I don't pay attention to the comments because my main focus is dealing with the people that I'm dealing with. That's why I usually have somebody else reading the comments or bringing the comments to my attention because I'm focused. See, that's the difference. That right there is also a difference between a man and a woman. A man, in this sense, was going to focus on the people that's right in front of him, not necessarily the comments so much because just like in life, everybody's got a comment about something. If you're so focused on comments, you miss what actually is in front of you and what you actually need to be dealing with. So that's an aspect, but we're not gonna get there. Okay, we're not doing that. All right, like as I was saying, the one person there's something that was Britt that said this. The person you can learn with. I think that's an aspect of relationships that doesn't get dealt with enough. Yes, you trust, you can grow trust. And, you can lose trust, just, and it takes time to gain that back. Learning people, emotionally and everything like that. If you're not able to learn with that person, and I'm not just talking about, learning them and them learning you, but learn how to interact with each other, how each other deals in certain situations and move accordingly. Sometimes that's the thing that really hurts relationships a lot too. I think the emotional support, and that's something we're going to talk about in this as well. I think that is extremely important. But I think the ability to actually learn and grow with one another, I think is one of the things that is hardly ever talked about. I can say safely for me, I hardly ever hear people talking about that. It's usually always about the emotional. It always goes towards the cheating. It always goes towards the everything else. But it's one of those things where even I've said this to somebody, I talk about somebody cheating on, I'm like, okay, well, did you know anything about this person? Did you learn this person? And I've said it a couple of times, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think I ever actually understood what I was saying when I said that. And I was always saying, yeah, you know this person, know who you're dealing with, this is that, but are you really learning this person? So yeah, those are some of the things we're really gonna try to jump into when it comes to this. Okay, so let's dive into. We're gonna do real quick. We're gonna talk about this. Okay, see, Carrie, is this Fury Storm, right? Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So okay, so Carrie's talking about, well, I don't think it's just a feeling or a collection of emotions. Love is action. Okay. That's something we're definitely gonna dive into when we talk about that word. Actually we might dive into it right about now. Love can be in the smallest details, okay, like trying to make someone laugh, or comforting them when they're oh, I should have put my glasses on. Lord Jesus, this is why I didn't want to read. I can't find my glasses.
Would you like
But
me
want
to
me to
read
read
it
it?
for you? Oh,
that's
there you go.
that's fine. Hold up, Anthony. Just okay, man. I should have. I Lord Jesus, I should have my glasses on.
I Lord Jesus, I have my glasses on.
Anthony, you there?
Anthony, you there? Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can everybody hear Anthony?
Can everybody hear Anthony?
Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
and you times two. And me times two.
Okay. So here's what we'll do, Anthony. Whenever you're not speaking, just hit mute on yours if you can. I don't know if he
I'm muted.
heard me there. Okay. All right, gotcha. All right. Okay, so where was that? Comforting them when they're suffering. It's putting the effort in to make things right when they go awry. Love is about taking action to make the other person's life happier or more joyful, not just once, but consistently. In little ways, in big ways, love is empowering someone, putting their well-being first. And sometimes it's having the bravery to let go when they know you can't. That's a very good point. That doesn't mean giving up when things are a little rough. It means trying to be a better person so you can be a better partner. I guess love is wanting to enrich someone else's life, and in the process, you enrich your own. Very well put, Carrie. Very well put. Now, since she brought that up, this is something I was thinking about not maybe bringing up until later. But since we're talking about relationships, I'm going to ask this question. What is your definition of love? And then when I asked that question, the reason I'm asking that question because I believe it was Mama Bear that brought this topic up to us in the production meeting, and I love the way she put it out to us. And I think when we talked about it, I think that I had said something about what is that? Does love have meaning? Does the word love still have the same meaning? Or is it just something that people just say like in passing, or has it become a salutation? So to you, what does love really actually mean? Let's start with actually no, let's start with Elaine on this one. Elaine. I know. All right. I know you. See, I'm playing. Yeah. It's like bingo right now. It's like bingo.
I
I got
mean,
my little scratch
Anthony
card. I'm just going
Anthony
off.
hasn't even had to talk yet. Okay.
Well,
Right. He
Yeah,
hasn't
you
even answered the main
right.
question. The main question is, what is a relationship to him? He never even got to answer that question.
And you keep putting the women on the spot first. How about you answer a question?
well, what I do is, and like I said, the production meeting, I will throw the question out, let people answer, and then I'll follow up with it. Now, you guys got to
All
understand
right.
something. As a producer, and
You
knowing
make the
exactly where
rules.
Anthony, knowing exactly where Anthony is at, I'm kind of trying to refrain from asking too many questions because of his signal.
All right, I get that. All right,
Yeah.
fine.
So,
Fine.
and
All right.
actually, because my niece called me, it freaking did something to my computer, so I ended up having to reboot my computer. So luckily, I still had service on my phone. Oh, I'm a slapper. Yeah, Anthony, talk to your daughter when you get home. But
All
yeah.
right.
So
Love.
just tell me that real quick, and then what we'll do, I'm gonna do something with Anthony here real quick.
I don't know if I know what love is.
Oh, okay. I mean,
So
that's
there you
honest.
go.
That's honest.
I don't
I
know. I
I'm
don't
not
know if I
mad
can
about that.
put. I don't know if I can put words behind what I think love is. I don't know.
Okay, that's cool. I'm not mad about that. I mean, at least I'll be honest. At least that's an honest answer. You know what I'm saying? I can't be mad about that. At least you recognize maybe you don't know what it is. But I mean, you still got you can as long as you're with somebody, you can figure it out. I mean, you better figure out. You good? You smart. Anthony, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. First, what we're gonna do is this. I want you to first give a little brief bio about yourself, real quick, to the people, while you're driving, and then we'll go from there. Okay. I got a question to ask you from there.
Okay, well, my brief up-to-date bio is just relocated back from Kansas City to Pittsburgh, Kansas, where my family is. Want to be close to family. I'm 51. I've been married 28 years in May. I have two kids. A daughter, Janae, who's 25. A son, Carl, who's 22. I have background in music, psychology. And currently, I work in the AV, audio video field. I do installations and I do contract work. I work for a company out of New Jersey called Ironclad Audio Video. Yeah, I've done a little bit of everything. I'm old enough to have done a little bit of everything. But I think that makes me well-rounded. So that's my bio.
All right. All right. Love it. So my question to you, we're gonna jump back real quick. My question to you is, the first question we asked was, define a relationship and what that actually means to you.
It's a loaded question. What a relationship looks like to
I know.
me
It's
is not the
for
definition
me.
of
It's
relationship.
circling, so I guess he doesn't have good signal.
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Hey, you're cutting in and out, man.
Okay. Is that better?
Nah, I just lost you completely. Okay. We'll get him back in. Yeah, I that's why I figured it was gonna happen. Okay. So let's move right along with the whole up. Is that all you had to say about that, Elaine? Yes.
Sorry, I
Oh,
was yelling at Pac-Man. Told him to comment what he thinks love is, and in the comments.
Oh my God. Hold on, man. Anthony's trying to get back in. I think he's trying to get back in. Okay. Hey, you there?
Mm.
Hello? You there? Yeah, it's gonna be kind of rough for him.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Anthony, if you can hear us, we can't hear you right now, but if you can hear us, what we're gonna do is we're gonna keep chugging along. So here's what we're gonna do real quick. Let's take a quick commercial break. We'll come back. We'll continue on with the questioning as far as the question of what is love to you. What is love? Anyways,
Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me.
All right, so we'll take a real quick commercial break and we'll be right back with more. You said what?
Is a show of a test of age.
Yes, an Elaine pass.
If you started
there's two.
head whenever he said, "What is love?" that shows that you're old.
Yeah. Yes, it is. It does. I mean, hey, it is what it is. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm not ashamed of it. You know what I'm saying? That's a phenomenal movie. Anyways, like I said, we will be right back after these messages from Spotify.
Hey, it's the Birdman here. I have a question for you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? If so, have you heard about Spotify for Podcast? And why is the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need all in one place? Well, allow me to explain. Spotify for Podcast has the tools that will allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone, tablet, or computer. And when hosting on Spotify for Podcast, you can distribute your podcast on listening platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and many more. It's really everything you need to make a podcast all in one place. And the best part about it, totally free. So what the heck are you waiting for? Go to podcaster.spotify.com to get started. Just say a little birdie code.
Yo, what is up? How you doing? It's the Birdman on the Birdman Show. Go ahead, do it with me one time. That is right. We are back on the Birdman Show. What? Elaine, what? You got a wounded bird over there?
I'm one-handed right now. Okay.
Oh, okay. I was like, I thought the bird was wounded or something. Oh, okay. I didn't know what was going on there. I was confused as hell. Yeah, like
It did it one hand at a time. That's all.
Okay, I was about to say,
Yeah.
that's my pearl. But
Yeah, there you go.
he's like, yay, yay. It's like, what is going on? Like, was it spirit fingers or something? Oh my God. Okay, yes, this is the Birdman Show. As you know, anything goes. So we are back. We are doing our discussion panel on the Birdman Show, Real Talk. I am joined with Brittany Price, Elaine, Daye. I got Ace Williams, Desiree Hull, Carrie Hollister, which also called Mama Bear, and of course my brother Anthony Simpson, who he's in between right now. He's on his way back. He's traveling back, but he is listening in right now. Hopefully he can jump in, chime in. Anthony, whenever you can chime in, just let me know. You jump right in, and we'll definitely get words from you as well. But we're gonna keep on rocking. I think he's gonna try to say something now. Go ahead.
I'm gonna say something. Elaine, what are you doing over there?
What are you doing? Okay, what are you doing?
I mean, I'm sitting here paying attention to Anthony's screen, waiting for the
But Anthony's not talking.
From his mouth, and I see your head go. I'm like, the hell's going on?
You know what, Ace? Mind your business, okay?
Oh
mind
my
your business
Lord
over
Jesus.
there.
Help me, give me strength. Yeah, obviously Anthony's still having a little trouble with his signal driving back. I know he's having a little trouble. And I know he hates that. But number one, first and foremost, Anthony, if you can hear me, you drive safe. Get back. You should be back way before we get done with this show. So we're just gonna keep on moving along, folks. All right, so when we left off, we left off from that break. We had Elaine, what the heck?
What? I didn't know during the commercial break we weren't recording. I thought we were recording this all time. And then I was like, why is it counting down again?
Elaine,
Continue.
Go ahead, Ant.
No, I was just checking. Could you hear me okay?
Yes. Okay.
Cool.
Bet. All right. Elaine, I'm gonna tell you right now. I am not gonna be stopping every 5 minutes to be figuring out what the heck is going on with
Ignore
you.
me. I'm paying attention. I got this.
Try to.
I've got little arms.
But you over there, big screen right there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, see your head just making all kind of
All right,
faces
I'm
and stuff.
gonna
Like, what
sit
are you?
still. I can't.
No, you won't.
I
know
can't help
you.
that my
Good
face
God Almighty.
speaks when my mouth doesn't.
You know what? First, okay. You know what? Moving right along. We're gonna go. No,
Yeah.
I'm not
Continue.
with you, ma'am.
We're
no,
going.
we're not doing this.
What
We're
is
not
love?
doing this, ma'am.
What is love?
I don't know.
Okay.
Baby, don't hurt me.
We're gonna figure out. Yeah.
All right. Good God Almighty. Anyways, so we asked that question. Like Elaine just said, what is love? What is the true definition? What is your definition of love? Ace, what is your definition of love?
See, the thing of it is there's two types of love. There's just telling anybody, like I could tell my sister, I love you. And I genuinely love my sister. Don't give me that look. Just like I could look at you and say, I love you. And I genuinely love you. But for me to look at Carrie and say, I love you, there's more behind that, because just telling somebody that you love them is telling them that you care about them, that you will do anything for them. But whenever I tell Carrie that I love her, I'm telling her that I am in love with her. And being able to tell somebody that you are in love with them is deeper than just telling them that you love them. Because to tell somebody that you are in love with them, that means that you would die for that person. Now, I'm not saying that I wouldn't die for my sister. I would die for my sister. I would take a bullet for her. I would go up against King Kong himself if she was in danger. But something about the turtles in the Pac-Man. Stop. I'm sitting here talking about love, and he's talking about fucking turtles.
He said he loves turtles, but he's in love with Elaine.
Well, as long as it's not the other way around, and he's calling Elaine a turtle.
No, I don't think so. I think he might end up hurt if that was the case.
Okay,
Probably.
But-
Probably.
that's the way that I look at love.
Be honest with you, I didn't hear not a word you said. So, I'll just agree with you. Anyways, sorry, had to deal with something real quick. But yeah, great job, Ace. Great job. Anthony, if you can hear us, we're asking the definition of your definition of love. Let's see if we can get you on here, to tell us your definition of love.
All right, here we go, folks and friends. Hope you can hear me okay. Hope you get a thumbs up if you can see me, hear me. I want my thumbs up, man. All right, thank you. So for me,
I'm working on it. Man. Got it.
I got it. So for me,
All right.
love is in my actions, because, kind of like what Ace says, if I say I love you, there's different degrees of that. So I love my brother, but I don't love him the same as I love my wife. I don't love my wife the same as I love my kids, right? So the word has different degrees, but love is really action. So if you really want to know how much a person loves you, then, or how much you love a person, it should be shown in your action. How do you treat them? How do you respond to them? How much grace do you give them? How patient are you? What are you willing to tolerate? I tell my kids, there's no such thing as a perfect relationship or a perfect person. But when you're in love with someone, you basically say, hey, this is what I'm willing to tolerate, because the feeling that I have for you outweighs, the bad. So, you're not going to always have the butterflies and the rainbows and dream of unicorns. But love is the thing that sustains you, even when things aren't great, or you're having a bad day, whatever. Love is action. So, trying to to put it in a box, everybody sees the word, and I agree with Ace. Sometimes we throw it around a little nonchalantly with people, but really it's how we treat that other person is, how I define my love for people is my response to them, the way that I treat them. Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Um, sorry, I got a message right up. It took me a second to process it there for so okay, so Mama Bear, have we hit you yet? Okay. All right, let's go with actually, you know what? I'm gonna hold off because you were the one that brought this up, so I'm gonna hit some other people first. And since this was the one you brought up, I'm gonna come to you last, okay? Is that cool? All right, thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. All right, Brett, lay it on us. Lay it on us.
So, I mean, I definitely agree with what's been said so far. Love definitely has different levels. In a relationship, I guess, like when I think of love, like when I start to love someone, that is like the beginning of the trust, right? And then there's like, I'm trying to figure out how to explain it though. Like there's steps to that love though. First you love this person, but then there's a point in time where you don't just love this person anymore. You're in love with this person.
Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. I like that. I like it. Okay.
Can I chime in?
All right.
Can I?
Oh, now you also know what love is?
Can I be the devil's
Do you know
advocate?
what love is now?
No, because I don't feel like
okay,
anybody explained love. I feel like they just explained how to get in love or to be in love or the different types of love. Well, really explained love.
That's why I'm going to be going to Mama Bear.
Okay, she's gonna explain it for me. Okay, let's do it.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
Because I could have explained how you fall in love and do all that fun stuff.
Yes,
but...
yes. And that's that.
Well,
and I think that's something that happens a lot. So go ahead, Mama Bear, talk to us.
well, before me, you said you're going to put me last. Has Desi spoke about
No,
what
you're right.
love
I
is?
had that's right. So Des, I forgot. She had to take care of something real quick. Des, give us your definition of love.
Let's see. So for me, it's a little different. For those of you that don't know, I have been married 3 times. Always thought I knew what love was, honestly, until I got with the Birdman. And then I figured out that I really didn't know what love was. So for me, my definition of love is understanding, lots of forgiveness, and I guess it would lead back to what a relationship is because you have to learn. You also, a big part, and this will probably get addressed later. If you don't love yourself, you can't love anybody else. So you have to be able to love yourself. I never did. I did not love myself. I actually hated myself until he, proved to me that that was a bunch of bull. So
Amen. Wrecking ball.
That's mine.
Okay. Mama Bear, what do you have for us? Good points there. Yes.
Yes, very extremely good points. That is part of it. My understanding, and I'm not going to say it because everybody has a different thought process on love, the meaning of love. It's unique to everyone. But from my understanding, it's unconditional. the willingness to put someone else's happiness, interests, everything before your own. What I was telling, the ringmaster up there, Birdman, and when we were discussing it is when I tell the man that I love, Ace, I love you, I tell him I love you. I look at him and try to make him feel that how much I love him. But when he says it first, I never just tell him I love you too. Because to me, that's just a reaction statement. So many people are so used to saying I love you too. For me, I tell him I love you in response. So he understands that I paid attention to him telling me how much he loves me. And I want him to understand that it's reciprocated. It's felt from him, and I want him to feel it from me. It's understanding someone. Love is understanding someone and willing to accept their past so that way you can grow for the future. Love is not only action, but it's felt. There's no true definition to love unless, like Desi said, you have to love yourself first. It doesn't mean that you have to love 100% everything about you, because there's some things that I hate about myself, but I love who I am inside. I love who I am 100%. So I
Hey,
know that
I'm sorry. You got
I'm,
a thumb.
no,
You did a
you're
thumb.
good.
You got a thumbs up. You did a thumb on your thing, and it came up on yours.
Oh, whoa.
That's why I was like, "Hey, I'm so sorry. I scrolled like no other. I am so sorry."
No,
I'm
you
just
were
it
okay.
shocked the crap out of me. I'm so sorry.
Bringing sense of humor to it. Um,
Oh Jesus.
love for me is, there's no such thing as 50-50 in life. When you're with somebody, you give them your all, and you hope they give you their all in return.
Yes.
But no matter what, you want them happy. You want them to know that they're loved, whether it's with you or somebody else. There, like everybody's been saying, there are different degrees, family, person that you're meant to be with, friends, friends who you consider family. It's just to understand love, you've got to learn it for yourself.
Yeah.
And that for me is what I've learned in life.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Elaine, you good with that? She's just trying to get a thumbs up.
Yes, I am.
She's just
No,
trying
I
to get
got a thumb.
Oh, you did get a thumb?
I did have a thumb. I'm thumb approved.
Okay, you thumb approved. Okay. Can we maybe say something different? Because that's starting to make me feel a little weird. I got a thumb. Like, yeah.
Desi's
Okay.
over there.
Anyways.
And we all saw it.
And I don't know how.
I don't either. Like I said, when it happened to Carrie, I truly, I am so sorry. I was like, hey, let's sing the thumb.
I don't know how I did it.
I don't know how the heck it happened. Whatever. Anyways, I know Anthony's gonna be so upset because he was trying to get a thumb for so long in the production meeting that he was about almost ready to not do the discussion.
I just taped one to my screen.
There you go. What device are you using, Elaine?
Oh God,
Elaine?
Elaine, you're on your iPhone?
Yeah.
iPhone?
She's on her. Yeah.
Okay, the one that's in front of you, Tim, is that your phone?
Yes.
Okay, that's an iPhone. Yours is an iPhone. Sis, yours is an iPhone. You should get a thumb too.
I don't know how.
You need to turn your emoticon actions on. I don't know.
Well, here,
Decepticon.
let's get off the thumb subject.
Yeah,
Get
let's
back on the
just.
relationship.
Can
Yeah.
I add just a little bit extra at the end?
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm playing around with y'all, by the way. But no, on a serious note, I like to say growing in love, not fall in love, because when you fall, some things tend to break. But when you
Yeah.
grow, there's unimaginable heights that you can get to.
Okay. Yeah, I like that. My 2 cents is this. Love is tricky. It can be. Because there's a lot of fine lines. That if you're not really if you're not if you're not really paying attention can lead you down different paths that your heart's just not capable of dealing with. I think 100% there are a lot more people who are not honest with themselves that are like Elaine. What she said was 100% from the heart and truthful. She doesn't really know what love is. And the thing is that people try to come out and think they have an understanding of that and what love is. And honestly, what they're doing is they're just going off of other people around them. They're going off of what other people are saying. There a lot of reason why a lot of relationships fail is because people keep comparing their relationship to other relationships. They talk about, okay, this is what we do. This is what I do in my relationship. So that's what, and so some people, they'll see that and they're like, okay, well, maybe that's what I should do in my relationship. But they forget that those are two different people. I don't think that people spend enough time by themselves learning who they are. Because the one thing, like Des is the one that hit the nail on the head. Until you learn how to love yourself, you will never be able to love anybody else. If you don't understand what makes you happy without somebody else doing it for you, then you'll never truly be happy in a relationship. Let's just be honest. Because the first time that person does something that you don't agree with or upsets you, then usually that's what causes an argument, or you said, oh, they're not who I thought they were. And it's truly what it is you're not who you thought you were. And I just think that's, to me, I just don't think that people spend enough time learning to love themselves. I was bad about that. You know what I'm saying? I was always a carefree kid growing up. I did have a temper problem. I definitely had a temper problem. However, for the most part, I was a very joyful young man growing up. My brother's on here. I'm not gonna sit there and lie why he's on here. Even though he can't respond right now. But anyways.
I met you in your temper problems.
Yeah. Yes. I was a lot older. I was about to get there, Elaine.
And you still had temper problems.
What I'm saying is, after I got in the military, it did get a lot worse.
Oh,
and
okay.
It got worse because, number one, there was two things that happened. One thing that happened was, I was married. It was to my first wife. And I was going through what?
I wanted to touch base on what Becky said in the chat.
Well, is it still going to be in the chat?
You dirty rat.
Is it still going to be in the chat?
I don't think she can delete it, but
okay, there you go. Give me a second, and because I'm about to be done. Then we can go ahead and hit the chat, because I do want to hit some comments in the chat.
Okay.
So definitely. But yeah, when I've been through a very bad, towards the end of that marriage was very bad. And I started to close myself off at that point in time. Then I went on my first deployment, and saw things, did things, that really kind of reset my mind and my heart. And there were some other things that happened during that deployment, even back here in the States, that just, I'm gonna be honest with you, after what happened when I was in Iraq, I honestly I stopped caring about myself. And in doing so, I stopped caring about anybody else. The only person at that point in time that really kind of kept me going and wanting to stay alive was my daughter. She was it. That was the only reason why I even remotely even cared about even coming back to the States. And since that point, that time frame, I just a little bit, I kept losing just a little bit more of myself, and I just stopped caring. So I forgot how to love myself. And we fast forward years later, you know what I'm saying? Now, Des and I are together. It's trying to get back to that point where, number one, I love myself. And I can let go and forgive myself for things that happen. And it's not, and I'm not talking about things that happen in relationships. I'm just talking about things that I allowed to happen within myself. And that's difficult. It's difficult to say, hey, I'm not, yeah, this happened, da da da. And you have to let go of things, and so that way you can love yourself. But the bottom line is, if you don't love yourself, you're never ever going to ever truly love somebody else. And that's the thing that I think we have to grasp first before we go into anything else. Now, Ace, you said something about some comments.
Yeah, we've got Becky in the chat says,
Go
I
for
can't
it.
love, I do love, but it's hard when negativity knocks you down. And that's when the heart and brain battle. But then again, is that love or is it just caring?
Well, love is caring. It has to start somewhere. The thing about love to me is it's an end goal, almost. It's almost like an end goal to where you're really wanting to go. In order to really love somebody, first of all, you have to have some type of feeling about them, right? Which means you have to what? Care about them. Same thing for yourself. You have to care about yourself. The thing is, I see too many people jumping from the starting line to the finish line instead of actually running the race. We jump, to where, I have feelings for this person. Oh, I love this person, but you have not taken the steps within the race to actually reach the finish line, which is love. And I think we rush. I think Ace and I have said this before in one of our other podcasts. Today's society, especially when it comes to relationships, we're more of a microwave society. We want to put it in there. We want to push a couple numbers. We want it done in a couple minutes, instead of being like the old school where you made everything from scratch. You took your time. You got the ingredients. You if you're talking about making a pie, you got the dough out. You needed the bread out and everything, or whatever, the crust to get everything ready for that pie. And then you got the oven ready, and then you did all the filling for it. Then you did the topper for it. We're so focused on getting everything now that we forget about the journey. And I think Anthony had said something about that in the production meeting, that he's tried to not to be so cliche or whatever, but he said, we don't take the time to actually enjoy the journey of a relationship, of being in love, and we forget those aspects, and we just want to go from point A to point Z now. And I think that's that. To me, I'm not gonna say I think. To me, I think that's where a lot of these issues come up with. Who's got another comment in there? If you guys are seeing comments, mark them. Go back. Let us know. Read another one for us. You got another one for us, Ace?
Becky had a reply to you. She says, is there a difference between love and caring? You can care about someone and not love them, or is it just another type of love?
To me, I definitely believe you can definitely care about somebody and not necessarily love them. Or I want, yes, to me, I think there is a difference between caring and loving. There's a lot of people I care about, I'm not going to sit there and necessarily say that, I love them to the point where I would do anything for them. And that's to me, like I said, once again, that's to me. To me, when I say I love somebody, that means I would do anything for that person. And there's quite a people out there that I'm acquainted with. Elaine sometimes falls in and out of that, where, I care about her. And I'm like, do I love her? I would do anything for her, you know what I'm saying? If something happens, I come get her back. But then I'm like, no, I just kind of care about her.
That's a lie.
Well,
Survey says that's a lie. Go
you
ahead,
gotta
Carrie.
understand it's actually one of the types of love because in order for you to care, like you stated earlier, you have to love. You don't necessarily have to love that person, but you love yourself enough to care. So it's a form of love.
Yes. Yeah, like I said, they're different, but like I said, it's the beginning stage of love. It should be the beginning stage of love. I'll put it that way. Let's see. Britt, where you at? Okay. So
Gotta unmute.
you said what?
I said I had to unmute too.
Oh no, you're good. Okay, so going along with that comment, what would be your response to that if someone asked you what the difference between caring and loving is?
That's a difficult one for me.
She still doesn't have much to say on the topic.
Well, I'm just trying to
make sure you're not like frozen.
No, I'm
That's
Okay.
fine.
Just know, Easter, that there's no right or wrong answer to your understandings.
No.
right. I don't know how.
You want me to come back to you?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I got you. We lost Anthony. I was just about to go to him, try to see if I can get him. Okay. So, all right. Des, let's hear what you have to say. What would you think? What would be your response to, that's Becca, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So what, if Becca was to come to you and ask you that same question, what would be your response to that?
The difference between caring for somebody and loving somebody.
Or
Yes.
talk to my brother.
Go talk to your dad.
So for me, there is a big difference. People I care about, I will do certain things for. People I love, I will do way more for than what I would somebody I care about. Somebody I care about, if they're stuck on the side of the road, I'll go help them out. Somebody that I love. What was that? Oh, Anthony.
Anthony's coming back in.
But somebody I love would be, you could call me at 2:00 in the morning. If I just care about you and you call me at 2:00 in the morning, I'm gonna hurt somebody. Because 2:00 in the morning, I'm sleeping. I'm just saying. To me, there is a difference. However, in the comments, it was stated, to care for somebody, you have to, you love yourself as well. Yeah, I could see that, but like I said, to me, there's different levels, I guess you can say. There's different levels to it. Like I care about somebody and then I love somebody, different levels of love, like Anthony had stated earlier. You love your children different than you love your spouse. You love your parents different than you love everybody else. And then you have the being in love with somebody. So there's different variations for it. So I guess I don't really have a single answer to that question.
I don't honestly think there is a single answer to that question. I don't. And once again, I want to make sure, that everybody understands this. I know the panelists understand this, but anybody who's watching this now and watching this later, understand anything that we talk about and we say is going to 100% be off of personal experience. And I think that's one thing that sometimes gets lost when you talk about relationships, because one or two things happen. One, you don't talk up to your partner about any of your experiences. I know it's always been said, don't want to bring baggage into a relationship. And for the most part, that's true. But I think that's more so true when you're talking about dealing with, and I know in most cases you got exes that, you have a child with, not bringing that type of baggage, not bringing the fact that if you're talking to somebody else or this is that, you don't want to bring stuff like that in a relationship. But if you truly have trauma, if you truly have, issues with, loving yourself, and opening up to people, I think that type of thing should be discussed with your partner, your new partner, whoever you're going to be with, just so that they understand, hey, look, there are times that I struggle with opening up and this is that. It's not that I don't want to, I just struggle with it. I'm just asking for you to be patient with me. I think if you at least do that, I think you'll open up a little bit more, I guess I want to say compassion from the other person, to where at least they know, okay, look, at least if this is going on, it's not me. Maybe they're just dealing with something. I just let them know, hey, if you need to talk, I'm available. And then leave it at that. Instead of pushing, say, oh, yeah, you need to talk. Let's talk. Oh, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? Hey, nothing's wrong. Oh, no, something's wrong. Like, shut up. Anyways. Okay. Okay, so Elaine, did we ask you that question yet? Have you answered that question yet?
You didn't.
Oh, and you look so excited about answering.
So this is a hard question. I agree with Britt, because to me, I feel like there's not somebody that I care about that I don't love. So I really wouldn't call it caring when it's other people. Maybe like I'm compassionate to how they feel, but like, But I think most of the people that I love, I actually care about. So,
Okay.
but I'm also a whole nother type of beast. I'm a mean person, and there's not a lot of
Lord,
people that
yes.
I care about.
Lord,
So,
yes. Oh.
So is Sissy. So is
but
Sissy. Sissy will tell you it straight.
I feel like there's
Pac-Man,
a
I'm praying
different
for you.
word. There's got to be a different word than caring, because I care about the people that I love, and I love the people that I care about. So
Well, I'm gonna say this to
there
you.
is stronger levels, like everybody said. Like, I love my kids and care about my kids more than I care about everybody
Yeah.
else. But like, I care about my friends. I love my friends. So the people that I don't care about, I really just, I don't love them. But I love the people that I care about, if that makes sense.
You're gonna be getting all kind of messages after this, especially if you got anybody watching. They're gonna be like, "What?
Well, I don't
Oh,
have
so
any
which one
friends,
am
so
I, Elaine? Which one am I?"
they know. I talk about those. I talk to those that I love and care about all the time, so they know who they are.
Okay, cool. I mean, cool. That's cool. I mean, golly,
I
we.
I don't want to confuse anybody, because people these days get confused. It's, I don't know.
Like, I just want to make sure you know, I don't care about you. That's what you're saying. Like, I want to make sure you know, I don't care about you. All right. And for those like, hey, I care
I
about
don't
you.
want you. I don't want people to get the wrong
Yeah.
idea.
Okay, that's cool. You know what?
Yeah.
That's cool. Let them know up front. I ain't even mad. It's just baby girl. So, Becca, I hope that helped a little bit. Britt, do you want to try again, or are you good with what everybody said? I'm gonna try to see.
When Desi explained her side of it,
Mm-hmm.
it resonated more with how
Okay.
she explained it.
Okay.
So how she put it is better than what I can do. So
Okay.
it's very hard for me, I guess, to differentiate the two.
And listen, there is absolutely positively nothing wrong with that. Because I think, like, I think there's a lot more people like Elaine, when it comes to, differentiating the caring and loving part. Because they associate the caring with the love, and sometimes it's kind of hard to just, I guess break it down. I feel sometimes it's like hard to break it down or break it away from it actually really being separate, or the type of level it is. So I mean that I mean I agree with that. I mean I don't think there was really any wrong answers to that. There's no way to really answer that wrong, because once again, like I said, we're basing this off our own personal experiences. Anthony, first of all, how's your volume? Let's see if we can get you in here.
Good.
Okay.
Okay.
So were you able to hear all that?
Yes.
Okay. So what is your response to that?
I think the struggle is trying to put that word in a box. Physiologically, love is a chemical reaction. We see someone, there are endorphins that fire. There are all kinds of things that go on with the body to express love. The long and short of it is that you are the key to the definition of love, right? So, how I feel about someone, when we talked about, comparing caring for someone versus loving for someone. Well, I'm a compassionate person. I mean, I will go out of my way to do something for someone that I don't know very much for. That's because that's the way that I'm wired. That doesn't mean that I love that person. It just means that I genuinely care about people that are around me, whether I have deep relationships with them or not. If I see someone that I feel like I can help or I can do something to be positive in their life, then I do that. But that's because that's the way I'm wired. Someone else may look at my action, and deem it as an act of love. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's happening on my end. So we talk about the definition. We talk about, what it is. It really has to do with knowing who you are. It was mentioned before. And the reality is that, if I think back to early relationships, there are times when I felt instantly in love, right? You couldn't have told me nothing different. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's what that person felt towards me, but that's what I felt. And the reality is that what I thought love was when I was 17, 18, 19 years old, I know that love is different the older I get, okay? And part of that is that what I require changes. As life goes on, what you need from people changes. What you yearn to have in your life changes over time. So love will always look different because of who you are. So, again, everybody says some really cool things, some very honest things. But the reality is that I really define love myself, and what I deem as an act of love or someone's response to me in love. That's just how I see it. And it's going to change as I get older. It changes as I'm hurt. It changes as I experience, joy. My definition, or what I deem love is constantly evolving, because I am. So that's my 2 cents.
Okay, I like that. And like I said, I love and appreciate everybody's point of view from this. And I'm gonna tell you, one of the things I'm really loving about doing this is, I feel like I'm learning even more about, because I can safely say everybody that's in this panel, I truly care about and I do love. Whether it's what level that is, it is what it is. But I'm seriously gonna karate chop you in the throat. Anyways, but I can safely say I love, I care about, I definitely respect everybody that's on this panel. And I feel like this is like an amazing opportunity to get to know even more and learn even more about people I care about. And learn the fact that, your views on certain things, because it's crazy, because I've known Brian and Carrie for a while. Brett, we've only known each other for so long. I've known Elaine for a number of years, and I've known my brother all my life. But when I look at it, there's a lot of times we don't have these type of conversations in any sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, Des and I, we've had these conversations somewhat like this before, but for everybody else, like, we don't really get a chance to have these type of conversations. These type of conversations don't really come up because we are so talking about other stuff. But yeah, it's cool. You said what?
We used to have them like way back in the day when we were all drunk, just hanging out in his living room.
But you know what? That's we definitely did have those type of conversations
back when we really didn't know what love was for real.
No. And normally it ended up with we're about to go find somebody and just, hey, let's just go knock somebody out. Like the whole going on war on Facebook thing. That's a story for another time. But it takes money to tell that story. Anyways,
I'd like something real quick.
Go for it, buddy.
During our meeting of the minds last week, we came up with this whole list of topics that we were going to talk about,
and we didn't even talk about them.
We have not gotten to a single one of those topics, and we
that
have
is incorrect.
Well, we've talked about
this is part one.
This part one of like 5.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing. Like we've all, like I said even in the production meeting, and for those who've been on any podcast with me, especially when it comes to something like this, we go with the flow. So a lot of this is what happened was we broke off and we started talking about stuff that was in the group chat that was brought up. We were talking about some other stuff, and then because of that, it sparked a different type of conversation. The thing I like about these conversations is that they're free flowing. Yes, I do have a structure, and I have a list right here, but because certain topics we talked about hit something a little different, I jumped from one thing to a different thing, and then I came back to something else, or I allowed the group chat to kind of take over a little bit with some of the things we talked about. I just want to make sure that when we talk about things like this, and like we said, because we're a little over, we're about an hour and a half into, or pretty close to an hour and a half into this, but like we said before, like it's one of those things where we honestly don't know where this is going to go when we start getting people, and like I said, the group chat is what I was really kind of hoping would do what it has started doing, and that's people who are watching, or they're in the live studio audience, things are starting to spark in them, and they're asking questions, which we can now address and give our opinions on. And if they like Becca, saying she resonated, especially with what Anthony was saying, that she, and where was it at? Where she said that? I gotta go back up here and say this.
Ladybug asked a good question too.
Okay. So I bring that up. Okay. Well, real quick, because Becca said, that's how I feel I'm wired, even though I never experienced love or care growing up. I have compassion and care for others. So it's stuff like that. That's the kind of stuff I like. Okay, so Mama Bear, you said Katie Book has some. Where is it at? You have it?
At the very end, where she said, "Can we hear everyone's input on true love and infatuation? The difference between the two."
Thank you very much, there, Katie, because that was definitely one of the topics we're gonna go for. What did you say, Mace?
I said I can answer that question with one word.
Okay.
Sex.
Well, yeah. Can we hear experiences between input and love?
To elaborate on that,
The inability to understand the true meaning behind intimacy.
Well, the question that was going to go along with that, because that is one of the topics we were going to talk about. My question was, what is the difference between love, lust, and infatuation? Because that's something that's definitely going to come up within a relationship. But what is the actual basis of the relationship? Is it something out of love? Is it starting out of lust? Is it just something that's you have infatuation with that person? What is the difference between that?
So, can I jump in?
Go ahead, Anthony.
So I have what I believe is a pretty simplistic definition, and we can elaborate on it as a group. Lust generally is physical with no emotion attached. Infatuation is generally one way. Love is two way. So when a person is infatuated with another, usually they're the only ones deeply desiring that other person, with not always that feeling being reciprocated.
Okay. Go back. Start over again because you cut out. You cut out pretty bad.
Okay. Is that better? Okay. So my definition was lust is usually it's okay between two people, but it's generally physical with not much emotional attached to it. Infatuation is one way, a person that has deep feelings for another, but it's not reciprocated. And love is when the feelings are reciprocated between a person, two people is two ways.
Okay. Great. Very, yeah, like you said, very simple. Very simple to the point. That's exactly basically what it is. Simply and broken down in the simplest form. Let's see. Desiree, hearing that definition, what are your thoughts on that?
I knew you would. I knew it. I was like, he's going to come to me first on this one. Okay, so I completely agree with Anthony. And to add to that, for me, I think part of how you know that it's actually love on either your end or that end is if the other person specifies to you that something is bothering them and you do not do something to, I don't necessarily want to say change it, but if it's something that they're pointing out, okay, look, let's just be frank. Let's just use Caitlin, okay? Let's just use her because she's in here and she's the one who asked the question, okay? She used to tell her boyfriend all the time, I need you to help me with these kids. I can't do this by myself. I'm stressed out. He never helped her. He never did anything after she expressed her concerns. He never helped her. In my opinion, that's not love. That is, he was infatuated with the idea of being with an older person. Made him look better to his friends. That's my opinion. Now, aside from that, Anthony, I completely agree with you on the whole lust and infatuation part of that. It is a lot of physical. There's a lot of people who associate sex with love. And that is not, no. You can have sex with somebody and not love them. And you can also love somebody and not have sex with them. So, just saying.
Okay. Elaine, since you got so much to comment, come on with it, come on with it, come on with it, girl. You better quit. Hey, listen, if you gonna do that stuff, at least turn your camera off so that way I can see. But no, I mean, yeah, Des hit on a lot of stuff right there.
Yes.
So I mean, that's good. So I know it was resonating with you. So that's why I'm gonna go with you because you seem to have a little bit more emotional attachment to it. What you got to go along with that?
Well, no, because when she said she was gonna use Katie, I was like, and all her business out here, and then Pac-Man over here is putting the actual emoji. So I was like, that was literally my face. I was stressing a little bit for Katie for a minute.
It's all right. She's used to it. She'll be all right.
Oh, okay. She's right there.
Yeah, she's like literally sitting right there.
Oh, so
she's watching the whole thing. So
got you. But I do agree. I think the one thing about lust and infatuation is most of the time those don't last. Where love seems to technically last. If you love someone, you'll always love them. You'll just not always be in love with them.
Sure.
But yeah, lust and infatuation, they're a quick, might feel like months, but it's literally like, okay. And then you'll meet the next person you're infatuated with and you're not even gonna remember their name. So I was snapping on the you can love someone and not have sex with them. Of course, men don't agree with that, so I'm gonna be single soon, apparently. That's not
I actually do agree with that.
Because what if I'm in a car accident and I'm in a wheelchair and can't have more?
I agree with it not because of something like that. I was just agreeing with it because, like, what if I just don't feel well? I mean, you're talking about making me a paraplegic. Like,
dang, Elaine took that to the extreme.
God, like I'm about to be in the wheelchair Olympics up in here. Like what the?
Right, but you know what I mean. Like, you could sleep with somebody tomorrow and be like, and not even care. Those are them one night stands. But you can be in a relationship when we're like 80 and we're not having sex anymore. You're still gonna love me.
Does any of your scenarios actually put you in a position where you're still able to use your body?
Well, you have to give a good example.
But I get it. What you're saying is love says we'll figure it out. I mean,
yes.
You're not going to write somebody off simply because situations change. Love says, listen, we're in it. We'll figure it out. We'll make it work. Whatever we need to do, that's love. You adjust. I always say, when I do marriage counseling, I say to a new couple, you have to learn how to, and it's a basketball analogy, you have to learn how to pivot, right? So in basketball, when you pick up the dribble, you can still move as long as you keep your pivot foot still, okay? So it's crucial in a relationship that you adjust, that you move, but your pivot foot is who you are. If you change who you are just to please someone, you're going to end up miserable. So you have to be able to adjust to the person that you're with, that you love, but you can never lose sight of who you are. You have to maintain who you are, but not ever be so rigid that you don't adjust to the person that you're in love with.
We're dropping knowledge over here. And for the record, Elaine, yes, I got what you were saying, but like your examples, you need to work on those. Go ahead, Mama Bear.
That's why I believe that no matter how hard you try to change somebody, it's not going to happen. And I don't believe that you're going to change for the right person. The right person is going to love you for who you are without you having to change anything. And the only changing that'll be had is the love that y'all have is building each other up, making each other a better version of themselves.
Yes. Yep. You can't expect them to change. You have to want to change for you. So, and they have to love you until you're ready to change you.
Now,
I don't know what you're laughing about over there.
But here's the thing you have to be careful about with that, okay? And at 100%, I 100% agree with what you're saying. But yeah, this is where if you're the other person, you have to be careful about the other person manipulating you. Because there's often times where, and unfortunately, I'm gonna say this, you see this more on the woman's side than you do the man's side, where they'll use the emotional or the actually physical or sex or other things withhold from the man because they want them to change something about themselves. And they're like, okay, well, you won't change for me, so this is that. And like I said, you have to I get it. Like if you truly love somebody, you say I love you. The thing is, what you do is you tell them, hey, look, this bothers me. Okay, tell them why it bothers you. Tell them, hey, I love you, but I really wish maybe you wouldn't do this, maybe you wouldn't do that. Then you continue on loving that person. Continue on like you ladies say, you love them, you accept them for who they are. You continue to love them. And if it's one of those things where they say, you know what, this person loves me, even though I've done this and I've done that, this, if this is the one thing that's bothering him, why am I not changing it? Because like my grandma used to say, and I've heard my grandma say this, and I've heard other people say this, you can attract a lot more bears with honey, you know what I'm saying, than you can with salt, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. So it's one of those things, like I said, you have to be careful knowing that, make sure that you're not doing it just because it's just something you don't like. At least give them a reason why you don't really like it. If it's just like one of those things where it's hey, I don't like the way you put the paper towels on the roll in the bathroom or in the kitchen. I put them with towels coming over. You doing it going it under. I want you to change that. Like, come on, first of all, make sure it makes sense. Here's what we're gonna do real quick. We're gonna take another quick commercial break. When we get back, I got a question I gotta ask. I got a question I gotta ask everybody. We're gonna talk a little bit about the mental health aspect in relationships when it comes to partners, understanding that. So I want to ask you guys. We're gonna dive into that a little bit more when we get back. So please stay tuned for more of the Birdman Show. The Birdman Show is powered by Riverside.fm. Riverside is the easiest and only way to do a podcast. Well, maybe not the only way to do a podcast, but the only way I will ever do a podcast again. Riverside has amazing editing tools and an unmatched community of experts that will help you take your podcast to the next level. So if you want to learn more about Riverside, check out the link in the Tim Birdman Simpson Facebook profile and take a flight with the Birdman and Riverside, and we'll see you in the cloud. Hey, yo. What is up? It's your boy, it's the Birdman. It's the Birdman Show. Go ahead and do it with me one time. That is right. We are back on the Birdman Show. We are talking some serious conversations here with a little bit of humor mixed in there, but we're doing a little bit of real talk. We have our discussion panel put together. I am joined with Brittany Price. I'm joined with Ace Williams, Desiree Hull, Carrie Hollister. I got Elaine Daye with us, and we're rocking and rolling with Anthony Simpson, my big brother, he's on the road right now, so he's trying to get back to where he get to the position where he can have a little bit more input, a little bit more say what's going on here. But we are still rolling, and he's still giving us some great stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, how is everybody doing? Brittany, how you doing? You still holding up with us? All right?
Yep, doing good.
All right, doing good. Mama Bear, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Seems like Britt's pulling a Sam.
Yes.
Me?
Yes, ma'am. Just a few words here and there. You're doing all right, though.
She chimes in there with a little bit of wisdom every once in a while. Ace, how you doing, buddy?
Still hanging in.
All right, bet. Elaine, how are you doing? It's your first time. You actually holding pretty strong for your first time.
I got this.
Yeah, okay. All right, yeah, okay. Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm ready for part 2 when we get into the juicy stuff.
Oh, Lord Jesus. Yes, okay. Des, how are you holding? How are you holding up?
I'm doing great, rocking and rolling.
All right, good. Okay, so I'm sorry. I started reading that comment from Broken. Anthony, I was just about to ask you. I was reading a comment.
All right.
I was reading.
I'm going to go back to mute now. Love you, though.
But are you doing okay? Are you doing okay? You still rock and roll over there?
No, I'm trying to figure out which one you in, because obviously it's not love. You check on me. I'm vulnerable. I'm out here with the deer and the antelope and all kinds of stuff. And, checked on everybody. I guess if my picture ain't on the screen, I'm out of sight, out of mind. That's all right, man. I love you, though. I love you. I'm good. Thank you.
Listen, man, I was reading the comment from Pokey. I was just trying to figure. It kind of took me out there for a second, so I apologize that I didn't immediately go right there to you. So, anyways, I wanted to talk real quick about this the mental health aspect that we had brought up.
Now, real quick, Tim, are you sure you want to dive into that right now? Because we only got 20 minutes left.
Yeah, I do, because I think I want to dive into it a little bit now, so that way that could be one of the things we open up with on the next episode.
Okay.
I think we got because this is probably the one we're gonna probably end up ending on for the most part for this segment, this episode, because I think with all the things that we've just been talking about, we do need to at least touch on this. And when we talk about mental health aspect, there's a lot of things that go along with it. So I'm gonna ask Ashley. Matter of fact, Ace, we're gonna start with you. When you think about the mental health aspect of a relationship, I think we both can agree. Number one, it has to start with yourself. It has to start with yourself before you can even become remotely mentally healthy for your partner. What are some of the things that you think about when it comes to the mental health aspect of being in a relationship?
Personally, with me dealing with triggers, I actually just got triggered. A car was going down the highway and it backfired and sounded like somebody was emptying a clip on the highway. So that's when Cheryl mentioned that I looked shocked. That's why, because that is a trigger for me. It takes me back to a place that I don't like being. And dealing with mental health issues, that is something that plays a key role in relationships. Whenever you talk about being open with your partner, with the person that you want to build a relationship with, you have to let them know what kind of mental health issues you deal with. Because if you're going to be in that relationship for the long haul, they're going to be there with you whenever you go through those triggers, the trauma, whenever it comes back and it hits you, and you crumble to your knees and you're on the floor fucking bawling your eyes out. If you don't explain to them what you deal with on a daily basis, then they're not going to know how to help you or comfort you during those times. So it's mental health in a relationship is something that most people don't think about bringing up. I mean, if you're thinking about being serious with somebody, you have to let them know, just like they have to let you know. I mean, yeah, you don't want to bring baggage to a relationship. That's not baggage. That's need to know information. Because, like, just now with that happening, it could have been worse. I mean, usually it could have been worse. And not having somebody that can be there. I got both of them on. I got my doggy on the other side. But not having somebody that understands. See, even she knows. But not having somebody that understands what to look for and how to respond. It's a lonely world if you don't express to your partner what you deal with.
Yeah, that's 100%. Anthony, I want to try to go ahead and hit you just in case you happen to hit one of those spots you can't get out of, get any signal out of. So if you can respond to that as well, go for it.
Yeah, Ace, man, dude, real talk, I admire you, man, because opening up as a guy sometimes it's not easy. And when you find someone who is willing to walk that journey with you, when you do allow yourself to be vulnerable, is massive. For me, mental health is a huge issue. And there's two things to look at in relationship to mental health. That's what mentally are you bringing into the relationship? And then there's also when you actually experience mental health while in the relationship, right? So, yeah, it's not baggage. That's super important that we do not identify mental health issues as baggage, okay? But knowing what you're getting into in a relationship is vital. And it also goes along with that, what we talked about in the last segment about the infatuation, right? That's dangerous when we're in the level of infatuation and we miss vital flags, we miss vital mental health warning signs because we're so consumed with the person that we don't see that we're in a toxic relationship, or we don't see that this person is actually not going to be good for us. So it's important that, and it's hard. I'm not going to sugarcoat it and say that it's, oh yeah, you ought to be able to figure out. It's hard when you're in the beginning stages of a relationship to be on the lookout of things that could be triggers, could be problems in the relationship. I tell my kids, I make mistakes as a parent, okay? And I've told both my kids before, just like you're growing up, I'm growing up, right? I've never done this before. I'm a parent. I'm new for the first time. When you're in a good relationship, as that relationship matures, there are challenges. And being open and honest about challenges is not always easy, but we have to strive to do that. Mental health is vital. Not just for you as a couple, but you as an individual. There may be things that you bring into a relationship you're not even really aware of. You're not aware that that you come across a certain way because of wounds that you had before you got in this relationship, or things that happened in your childhood. It's vital that you have to know who you are. And just sitting down with somebody, a professional, can be so therapeutic. I mean, we have such a stigmatism with mental health. It is vital that you seek someone out, professional, talk things through, be aware of who you are, so you know how you are treating that other person. Sometimes we're not even aware of it. But yeah, for me, mental health, both as an individual and as a couple, sometimes it's good to just sit down with somebody who's neutral and talk about the things that are in your relationship. And one of the hardest things to do is to listen to what we sometimes take as criticism from that other person, and they're just trying to express what they're feeling from you. So, mental health is super important, and you have to communicate with the person that you care about, the person that you love, and you have to be willing to address and deal with your own issues.
Okay. No, I agree with that. Let's go, Britt. Let's give you an opportunity to speak on this. What are your thoughts to go along with that?
I mean, I definitely agree. Like in a relationship, it should be 100% on each side. Each individual should show the same respect and the same support to their partner. It's a give and a take from each one of them.
Yeah, I like how you put that 100%. Because I get so tired of hearing 50-50, because that just means you're not putting your all in, because that means you're keeping something in reserve, which is,
right.
Let's be honest, that's how a lot of relationships in today's age, that's how they are. I mean, that's all you see on TikTok and Facebook and in YouTube is those type of relationships. It's like, oh, I got to handle mine. Well, maybe if you actually put 100% in your relationship, You wouldn't have to worry about half this stuff. All right. Let's jump over to Lane. Lane, why you laughing like that? You okay, Mom Bear? I know you're over there. Over
Yeah,
there
I'm okay.
for Ace. You guys doing all right? Okay. All right. All right. So, Elaine, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I definitely agree. I like what Anthony said. You definitely want to make sure when you're going into a relationship, your spouse or your significant other knows 100% what you're going through in your head, so that on the other end of it, if they don't know, they're confused. It's gonna hurt you more because they don't know how to deal with it. They weren't prepared for that, or they don't fully understand what you're going through, so that can make it worse. Yeah, I do. I don't. Mental health is it's a hard one because everyone goes through something hard that they do consider a baggage, and they shouldn't consider it baggage because it's only going to help your relationship more than it is going to break your relationship if you don't tell them. And also, I want to say shame on you for trying to end this with such a sad topic. Everyone's crying and upset now, and we were all smiling and happy. We could have left this on a good note until part 2, but you made everybody cry.
Hey, listen. First of all, I must say this with all due respect before we go to Des. I love each and every one of y'all, and I've already stated that. But I don't care. People need to hear this.
They do.
So it's not that the fact that, I definitely care about you, and I definitely care about, your mental health and everything else. But when it comes to this show, it's the ones that are listening, the ones that are watching, that are the ones that are really the most important. And that's one thing I've really kind of come to understand, that when it comes to a lot of this stuff, I've got to put myself aside. And I've got to be able to push through, to try to help somebody. Carrie, I'll let you speak real quick before we go to Des. Go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, to coincide with what you're saying, Tim, and I don't mean to interrupt, but to
No.
coincide with what you're saying is, yes, everybody needs to hear this. That's why you're leaving it as a to be continued ... must see the next episode.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And like I said, it's one of those things. Plus, I really for us to go ahead and get it out, start it out now, and then come back and finish it, because then we have a little time to gather ourselves, and move forward. That also it leaves something for somebody to really think about, and then come back and hopefully get a conclusion to that part. Des, I'd already asked if you want me to skip you. You said no. So, what are your thoughts, ma'am?
Mental health is very, very important in not just relationships, but friendships in general as well. I know this is the Real Talk panel, so let's talk real. I have not opened up to anybody about the mental health issues that I have or anything, except for when Tim and I got together. I told him everything. Everything. Besides him, the only person that really knows everything is my brother. One of mine is I have a really hard time opening up. Clearly my camera got turned off because my brother and I have such a connection that when he is upset, I get upset. That's just how we work. If you don't talk about your mental health, your traumas, your triggers, everything like that in the beginning of a relationship, you're basically set up for failure. Because had Tim not told me about his triggers, or had I not told him about my triggers, each of us could have done things to trigger them and ended our relationship. And then we wouldn't have been together for 6 years. One of my big ones, and everybody laughs about it. Tim has seen it firsthand. June bugs. June bugs. I'm terrified of them. Like completely legit terrified. Had a panic attack. In tears. June bugs. Mental health is very, very important for not just your relationship and your spouse, but like Anthony said, talking about it also helps yourself to where you can know what makes somebody tick. Like you know what makes them, or how do I want to say this? I don't know how to word it. You know why they are the way they are when they expose their triggers and their traumas. That's all I have to say. It's very important, not just for relationships, but for everyday life in general.
I'm gonna say this, and then we're gonna get closing remarks. I have for so long struggled with mental health. A lot of it was because there were things early on that I didn't recognize or know how to recognize. I didn't realize how much my grandmother's death affected me. She was my best friend. We talked a lot. My brother's on here, and he can attest to the type of relationship that we had. She's the one person I used to say safely. I could say safely. She was the one person that knew me better than anybody else. That's because I spent a lot of time with that woman. And when she passed away, right before I joined the military, I didn't understand how much it really affected me. Joined the military, and without going into it, I go through what I go through, do what I have to do, and I never really dealt with all that stuff going on, and then going through all the stuff I was going through with the marriages I was in between at the time. Didn't realize how much scar tissue I built up emotionally, and never dealt with. Mental health, there are so many layers to it. And I think that depending on who you are, depending on what your background is, how you grew up, the type of people you've had in your life that helped you with those types of things, can definitely determine how you come out of it. I'm very thankful for my brother. I'm very thankful for my mother, even my father. And he and I, we are so much alike that we bump heads a lot. And I don't care, what we go through. I do and always will love that man, because he is my father. And I respect the hell out of him, not only as my father, but as also a service member in the United States Marine. So that will always be there. But I honestly think that if we do take more time to really consider mental health in everything we do, especially relationships, then maybe either we won't get into some types of relationships, or we're able to help that our partner in those relationships and become stronger in our relationships, because we're taking the time to, number one, at least talk to somebody. That's the biggest thing when it comes to mental health. Mental health is, like I said, it's a big thing for me, and I struggle a lot still with opening up, but I have gotten better. I definitely say I've gotten better. But we'll get more into that on on the next time we do this. Because I can safely say everybody is willing to come back to do another panel. We might talk about it, and maybe maybe we go ahead and just continue doing the panel until we're actually get done with this thing. So we'll get together, we'll talk. I will go around real quick. I'm trying to get Ace out of here because Ace has his trivia night. So I'm gonna try to get Ace out of here as soon as possible. Ace, real quick, if you can, give us your closing remarks so I can try to get you out of here.
My closing remarks are: make sure you know what love is going into a relationship, because the last thing you want to do is string somebody along over an infatuation. And 4 or 5 years down the road, the infatuation wears off, and all you're left with is someone that you really don't want to be with. So make sure you know who you're getting into a relationship with and why you want to be with them.
All right. Mama Bear, what do you got for us?
Yeah, we're still finishing up.
If you're too afraid to go into a relationship right away, then you need to understand to love yourself. Love yourself first. Understand what you want in your heart. Understand yourself.
Okay.
Love is a deeper meaning. It's not just a word it's not just a word like a handshake.
I like that. I like that. Anthony, but let's go ahead and hear from you so that way and make sure and that way you're able to leave your browser open. That's another thing, people. Please make sure you leave your browser open before you log out, so that way you can make sure everything uploads. I meant to say that earlier, but I'm saying it now. What do you have, Ant?
I enjoyed the panel. A lot of good things. I think I would end with just nobody's perfect, including yourself. You have to be willing to be okay with who you are. And when you know who you are, it's a lot easier for you to love someone else. You know, I guess the easiest thing I'll say is, flexibility is key in relationships. But again, don't lose sight of who you are. If you constantly adjust to please somebody else, you're losing sight of who you are, and you're letting them fall in love with a stranger. So you are the most important person in a relationship, and you have to take care of yourself first.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Brittany, how you doing?
Good. And you?
I'm doing okay. What are your closing remarks for us?
I think it's been a really interesting talk. I've loved hearing the different views and aspects. I guess if I have to close with something, I would say don't base your relationship off of other people's relationships. Base it off of what you and your partner agree to, instead of trying to mold your relationship into something else. It's an agreement between you guys.
I like that. Well put, Britt. Well put. That's right.
Can I feed
sorry,
off
go ahead.
what Britt just said?
Yes.
I couldn't agree with you anymore on what you said, Britt, but I wanted to add, whenever you are building a relationship and you learn from the relationship before all of your relationships on what failed, if you're wise enough to realize what you can't hear me? Oh, I need to bring it closer.
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Okay. Whenever it comes to building from previous relationships, hell, I've done some world, don't even remember what the hell I want to say now. Continue. I'm on pain meds. Give me a break.
And thank you from those words from Mr. East Williams. Moving right along. Okay, Des, what are your closing remarks for us?
I'm gonna pull a Sam. I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Thank you for that. Your 3 words. Okay. Elaine. See if you can muster up at least 4 words.
I can muster something up. I'm gonna
Okay.
piggyback off of like everybody's. I definitely agree with Ace. Now I forgot what I was gonna say about that. So it'll come back to me. It'll come back to me. What Brittany said, definitely don't like just because it's good for the others doesn't mean it's gonna be good for you guys, or just because it worked in your past relationship, it might ruin your present relationship. Go in blindly and go with the flow. I
That
can't
sounds like a
piggyback off
recipe for
Deb.
disaster.
It might work. It might work.
We're
know
not
what?
playing Russian roulette.
It's our unplanned road trip.
Sometimes you have to.
Oh Lord Jesus.
Definitely. Oh, I know what I was gonna say with aces. I think.
There it is.
Don't. Every time you talk, you make me forget what I'm talking about. Super important. Jesus, look what you did. It was something about the comments and people pleasing, and oh, I remember. Okay, so when you do go on a relationship, what happened?
Don't say nothing. Let her finish.
Go into a relationship, you have to make sure you know the person that you're getting in that relationship with, because you don't want to give them the poison or the information to poison you. Because if they don't really love you and you're telling them all your vulnerable secrets and weaknesses, and they're gonna come, they can come back and attack.
Okay.
You have to
Okay.
know
Okay.
that.
I like that.
Don't go in head first and be like, oh, this is all the baggage that I'm bringing, because they might attack you with that.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. First you just said go in blindly and just go with the flow. Now you're talking about don't jump in head
I
first.
mean, relationship wise, like Brittany was saying, don't copy what they're doing because it works for them.
Okay.
That part of it, go blindly there, but know who you're going in with.
How about we just not tell people to go blindly in anything?
I mean, you have to start fresh. Your relationship is fresh. You're going in blind.
I get that. Yes. Do some recon. Just do some reconnaissance. I'm gonna tell people. I'm going military on everything. Let's see. We've hit everybody, right? Okay. Okay. Here's my closing remarks. Do you need to go, Ace?
I'm already hot. I mean, we
Okay.
go ahead and finish up. We're getting the likes up over here right now, so we can get on the
Okay.
FYP. But yeah, I mean, I've got everything set up, just waiting for it to end.
Okay. Well, I'll make this quick. I will say this. Out of everything that we've talked about on this episode, I would say definitely this is one of those ones that you probably need to go back and rewatch, maybe a couple times. The reason why is because there was a lot of great things that were said, and the thing you need to take away is number one, first and foremost, know and love yourself. Nothing grows out of anything you're trying to do unless you truly know and you love yourself. because you're never going to be the type of person that somebody else really going to be able to grow with if you don't know yourself and you don't love yourself. Definitely learn how to make sure, and that's something we're definitely going to bring up next time, is set boundaries for yourself. Let you got to first know what is acceptable to you. You got to learn how to love yourself, know how to love yourself, so that we teach somebody else how to love you. And you got to set those boundaries for yourself. And you got to stick to that. Don't just back away just because you say you feel a certain way towards somebody. If that person, even how much you love that person, or you say you love that person, if they are not sticking to those boundaries that you have set, they're not somebody you need to be with. Learn how to stick with those type of things. Like I said, that is definitely something we're going to talk about next time. And the mental health part of it is huge. I think with knowing, loving yourself, and then being honest with yourself about your mental health, being acceptable to that, working on that. I think those are the building blocks that opens up the fact that you'll be more acceptable to love, and learning how to love somebody. I just want to really definitely take the time to thank our panelists. I want to thank Britt. I want to thank Ace, Des, Carrie, Elaine, Anthony. And I want to thank myself. I'm playing some fun. I want to thank everybody. You knew I was going to do that. I definitely want to thank everybody for this. Like I said, I'll reach out to the panelists. Like I said, if this is if this might be one of those things, we might just say, hey, why don't we just go ahead and knock this out? Let's go ahead and knock this out. Get everybody together and continue on with this bad boy and knock it out. Because I think this is so far, especially from what we were ever talking about tonight, I think this would be great. Plus, we'll be able to have Anthony back. Hopefully, he didn't have to travel next time. But we'll figure it out. We'll get back with you guys, let you know. But regardless, whether it's the panel or if we're just going through another episode of the Birdman Show, we will be back next week, 6 p.m. Central Time, with the Birdman Show. We'll let you know if it's going to be the discussion panel, real talk, or if it's just going to be another regular episode of the Birdman Show. Don't forget, tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central Time, or on TikTok platform, the Birdman Show recap. So everybody that's on here tonight, if you're on TikTok, if you have that opportunity, I don't know if Anthony will be able to make it, or if he even has TikTok. I think he has TikTok, but I don't know if he'll be able to make it. But if he is, great. We're starting at 6 p.m. Central Time, going to roughly about 8. We do the Birdman Show recap. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about. We actually might do a recap. Instead of just going off with some other stuff. This is going to be phenomenal. So if you're able to join us, do that tomorrow on my TikTok profile, Birdman Show, right? Birdman Show, yes, Birdman Show. The Birdman Show. So yes, so definitely come over there and join us on that. Right now, Ace is doing his trivia night, and his TikTok is Ace TBL.
It's TLB dash ACE.
There you go.
No, it's dash. It's my damn name. I know how. It's a hyphen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's a hyphen. Okay, so there you go. If you want to join the trivia night, he's doing that right now. Definitely go over. It is a lot of fun. Tyler Perry for the win. So it's a lot of fun. I rarely try to answer the right question. I usually just put Tyler Perry for all my answers. Every once in a while I do answer the question right, but usually it's too slow. So I'm thinking about something funny first, and then I was like, oh wait a minute, I actually know the answer to that. So anyways, but yeah, like I said, so we got the recap. If you want to catch any of our past episodes, go to our YouTube channel and go to Birdman Show Podcast 9643 for any of our past episodes. You can catch us on Patreon at patreon.com/the Birdman Show. Yeah. Look, like I said, had a great time. I want to thank everybody once again for joining us. It was fun. So I definitely look forward to hopefully having this opportunity to do this panel again with everybody. Until next time, thank you for joining the Birdman Show. I am the Birdman, and we out. Oh, yes, Elaine. I'm sorry. Yes, Elaine got a shirt. Show the shirt, Elaine. We in here. We in here. Good shot. Good stop. Good stop. Good
Nice.
stop.
I love it.
Uh-huh.
It's super nice. I love it.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
good quality. It's not the kind that's gonna like peel away. It's really good.
They did a wonderful job with the shirt design. And Mama Bear did a wonderful job with the logo. You said what, Ace?
I love the material. It's soft material.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah.
I want to say it's 20 polyester blend.
Yeah, I gotta make sure I get Des and Mom's one. Britt, get you a shirt. Anthony, you need to get on there and get a shirt too. All right. Yo, we're still recording. I'm trying to end this. Stop saying stuff, Elaine. Jiminy Christmas.
So I can get a hoodie.
So thank you very much for joining the Birdman Show. I appreciate it because Elaine decided she wanted to keep talking. But thank you for buying. Thank you for getting this. All right. And no, I'm not editing this out. That's what we do. So once again, thank you very much. We'll see y'all next time on the Birdman Show. Do it with me one time. That's right.